starting at the Universal Design for Learning website, I decided to go ahead and choose checkpoint 6.1, which is to guide appropriate goal setting for students. Some key considerations it lists is: how does this help learners meet the goal? How does this account for the variability of all learners? And are learners' goals appropriately challenging? I decided to go ahead and choose this checkpoint because I personally have been dealing with this a lot in my placement, students practicing goal setting, and it's just important to get them to start setting goals when they are younger, because then they're more likely to do that as they progress throughout their educational career. And getting them to set their own goals allows those goals to have meaning to them. So just looking here, they listed a lot of resources, which are really great. One of the ones that I particularly liked was this worksheetplace.com one. They just gave a bunch of worksheets for setting goals, and SMART goals in particular, which I would say is the most common when you look up setting goals for students. So SMART stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-sensitive. So that's just a great consideration to keep in the back of your head as you're kind of going through this video and getting your students to set goals. So going and relating this to the cards that we have to put into play, I am going to choose the 9 of clubs. So the 9 stands for I have a cart of iPads or Chromebooks and a smartboard, and then my club shows me that I have multiple students for whom English is not their native language. So one of the things that I stumbled upon was just this mini lesson sheet. I think this is just a good goal and a good resource to have. It walks you through how to help students, and I especially liked this reading one. I am an English major, so that's kind of what I tend to lean towards. That I decided to use for this 6.1 checkpoint is this goal worksheet. I love this worksheet. I love that it's set up as a diagram, which is extremely helpful for those non-native English speakers. It's easy to follow. So you have the 3 main ones, and then if I were to even edit this, the 3 things you can do to reach your goals boxes, I would make those into 3 smaller bubbles so that they can see that, okay, this is the big box, these are the smaller boxes. And then with the arrow pointing down to that, that is just a nice diagram for those students to have who might be getting a little confused or not quite know what's going on with that. And then to help, since I do have every student has an iPad, which is awesome, or no, sorry, the cart of iPads, I would go ahead and type this into a Google Doc, set it up that way so that they can edit them themselves. And that way, if they share it with me on Google Docs, I can go ahead and make comments, especially when they submit assignments. You know, make a comment on one of the goals and be like, in your writing today, I saw that you were really doing these things to reach this goal. So just as a little bit of a positive reinforcer, and get in there and get as connected as you can, do some good communication with the students. That's important. And then I just kind of wanted to highlight where I actually got this from. So I did get this from Teachers Pay Teachers. This is the URL right here. And then it was a free digital download, so that's how I got it into that format, because I just went ahead and downloaded it. It is free, so I think that's awesome. It's great to stockpile those resources when you can. And then I just kind of wanted to go ahead and highlight what comes up when you search student-guided goal setting in Pinterest. There's a ton of great resources. This was my second favorite tool, but given that I was working with non-native English speakers, it seemed a bit wordy for me, basically, with ELL or non-native English speakers. You really want to get some pictures in there, some diagrams. That's why I liked that one. This one's also great with the steps. So that is what I have for my tool to go ahead and reinforce this 6.1 guide appropriate goal setting checkpoint.